Hello grade ones, thank you for joining me today. My name is Robin and today in numeracy we are going to be learning about shapes and space. So let's have a look. Earlier in the week we went over our 2D shapes. So let's see. We went over the circle and we know that a circle is round, has one curved side and no corners. A rectangle has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. A triangle has 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, and 3 corners, 1, 2, 3. A square has 4 equal sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the 2D shapes that we learned about grade 1. And remember we said that 2D shapes are flat. We also learned about different 3D shapes. Remember some of the 3D shapes that we learned were a rectangular prism, a cube, a sphere, a cylinder, a pyramid, and a cone. Space and shape. Let's look at the balls. What shape is a ball? So if you look at the soccer ball, the red ball, and the tennis ball, what shape are they, grade 1s? Yes, very good. They are circles. And does a ball have corners? No, a ball does not have corners, but it does have a curved side. Does a ball roll or slide? Very good. A ball can roll. We are going to look at some more examples just now. Let's see some of the space words that we can use when talking about shapes. The soccer ball is the biggest ball. It is bigger than the red ball. So the soccer ball is bigger than the red ball. The tennis ball over there is the smallest ball. It is smaller than the red ball. So if you look at the two balls, you can see that the tennis ball is smaller in size than the red ball. The soccer ball is before the red ball. The red ball is between the soccer ball and the tennis ball, and the tennis ball is after the red ball. So if we look at this sentence, we can see that here is the soccer ball and here is the tennis ball, and the red ball is between them. Shapes that slide and roll. Let's have a look. Objects or shapes that roll are round and have no sides. Examples are shapes like a circle and objects like a ball or a marble. Objects or shapes that slide have sides. Shapes like a square and rectangle, and objects like a book or a box. So remember when we learned about 3D objects and shapes, we said that objects that roll, when we push them, they keep going. we also now learned that they roll if they are round and have no sides. So these are going to be objects such as balls or a marble. Objects that do have sides, and such as a square or a rectangle, and everyday objects like a book or a box are then going to slide. So let's look at some examples over here together. We can see that we have a nachi and a marble. And what shapes do these look like, grade ones? Very good. They look like circles. Or if we say a 3D shape, we would say a sphere. We can see that the nachi and the marble are round and have no sides. So if I push them, let's see if they're going to roll. Let's look at the marble. We can see that the marble can roll. If we push the nachi, we can see that it also can roll. So we can see objects that look like circles and have no sides will roll. Now let's have a look over here at my box. We can see that this box has sides. There's one side, there's another side. And this looks like a rectangle or a rectangular prism. Now let's see what will happen if I try to slide it. We can see that it can slide. It will slide on the sides, but it cannot roll. So now that you have seen our everyday examples, we are going to practice. Which of these objects will slide and which will roll? We have already used a nachi or an orange as an example. We can see that this orange is shaped like a ball. And we can see that if we use a shape, we would say that this looks like a circle. So is it going to roll or slide, grade ones? What do you think? Very good. It is going to roll. So let's write roll. The next one that we have is a brick, and it is shaped like a box. We can see that this brick has sides. So there's a side over there. There's another one over there. So we know shapes that have sides are going to slide. Very good. Now we are going to practice some more examples together. We will look at each 3D object and we are going to put a tick or a cross to say whether it will roll or slide. Remember, grade ones, to keep in mind that objects that have the shape of a circle and look round and have no sides are going to roll, and objects that have sides and have the shape of maybe a square or rectangle are going to slide. So let's look at the first example together. We can see that they had cubes, ABC cubes, and they have the shape of a square. So we know shapes that look like a square and that have sides are not going to roll, but they are going to slide. The next one that we have is a gift box or a present. What shape does it look like, grade ones? Well done. It looks like a square shape. And can you see that this shape has sides? And when it has sides, what does it mean? Will it roll? No. Will it slide? Yes. Let's look at our next 3D object. We have a soccer ball. And a soccer ball is round. Does it have any sides? No. And it looks like a circle. So when an object does not have any sides, is it going to roll? Yes. Is it going to slide? No. Let's look at the next one. We have a Rubik's Cube, and we can see that it looks like a square. It has the shape of a square. And does it have sides? Yes. So does it mean that this one will roll? No, it cannot roll because it has sides. So this means it will slide. The next one that I can see is some candies. And they are circle in shape and round. When an object is round, it means that is it going to roll or slide, grade ones? Yes, very good. It is going to roll and it will not slide. The next one that we have is a cereal box. We can see that it looks like a rectangle shape. We can also see that it has sides, different sides. So when an object has sides, will it roll or slide? Well done, grade ones. It is going to slide. So we'll put a tick under slide and a cross under roll. Our next object is a box of matches, and it looks rectangular in shape. We can also see that it has different sides. So does that mean it is going to roll or slide? Can you guess? Fantastic! It is going to slide and it will not roll. The next picture we have is a picture of Earth. We can see that it is round in shape and it looks like a circle. So do you think it is going to roll or slide? Well done. It is going to roll and it will not slide because it does not have sides. Our next object is a beach ball. We can see that it is round in shape. So can you tell me the answers, grade 1? Fantastic. The beach ball is going to roll and it will not slide. Our next one is one of our favorite toys to play with, pieces of Lego. We can see that they are rectangular and square in shape and they have sides. So this means that they will slide. Very good. And they will not roll. The next one is a suitcase. And we can see that it looks like a rectangle shape. It has sides. So this means that it is going to slide. Well done. And it will not roll. And our last one is a pile of books. We can see that they look rectangular in shape and they have sides. And we know now when an object has sides and it looks like a square or a rectangle, what is going to happen, grade ones? Super! It is going to slide and it will not roll. So we can see from these 3D objects, grade ones, that objects that look like a circle and are round are going to roll. If an object does not have any sides, like a ball or a marble, it means it's going to roll. Objects that look like a square or a rectangle and have sides, such as a cereal box or a book, are going to slide. So can you see how learning about 3D objects and shapes has helped us to find out which objects can roll and slide? Thank you very much for joining me today for your lesson on shapes and space. Until next time, thank you very much, grade ones, and goodbye.